Good evening. Hope everybody is doing well. I realized that my humor has reached a new level of sadistic a little bit earlier. Jen was referencing how far we were from St. Louis, and my response was, well, probably right about the outer edge of if a big nuclear bomb or missile went off, in St. Louis, probably right about a big one, right about the edge of, where there's just flat out destruction, right? So we might still have standing houses, but maybe. Anyway, yeah, that's kind of sadistic. Anyway, that's about how far we live from St. Louis. So, anyway, as I said, I hope everybody had a good day. I really can't give you a whole lot of intel involving the convoy as far as the convoy itself, because really, there really wasn't streamers that was with the actual convoy that I could tell. It was kind of a weird day. It was another day that the convoy instructions were follow the leader, and it was just there were other streamers that were doing other things, like for instance Oreo Express, his wife and his little boy are visiting, so their or his routine, I should say, is kind of different than what it usually is when he's running with Julius. So but anyway, a lot of stuff going on. And I guess I'll address the early on thing first before I get into this whole drama about this live streaming and stuff. Because believe me, I'll get to it. So anyway, after the drivers' meeting this morning, a gentleman got on stage and he was speaking about the 13th Amendment, among other things and stuff. And I mean, he was definitely saying some enlightening things. And it wasn't anything he said wrong or anything like that, but they had a schedule to keep and they had to get going. And so they told the guy, they let him know, hey, you got to wrap this up, we got to get started. And he kept going and kept going, so they cut the mic on him. And it wasn't so much out of disrespect for him, but they had to get going. There's things that they plan, and some of those things, time is crucial in that. Now, I can't tell you that they had something planned today that time was crucial. I have no idea. But nonetheless, they had a schedule. They've got lots of things going on. And I do have a lot of good updates. I do have that. Again, I can't tell you much about as far as a convoy itself driving around, but I can tell you quite a bit involving, the People's Convoy that happened today. For instance, Mike Landis, I believe he was actually in California. I believe he was in California talking to, and I can't remember the name of the politician, but it's a Democrat. He was talking with a Democrat politician. He was there with a doctor and one of the doctor's patients that was injured. I'll just leave that right there. So they were there, as well as, who was the other gentleman with? There was another gentleman there at the meeting. I've actually got the meeting downloaded. The video from that. Reset Media is the one that streamed it. I do not know if it's still available, because there were things discussed in the video that YouTube doesn't like, and that's why I did what I could to get a copy of it as quick as I could. And so I did secure a copy of that, so if that goes bye-bye and anybody needs a copy of it or whatever, I do have a copy of that meeting today that Mike Landis was in. So that happened today. That is good news. And then the other thing is they got the okay to use the track where they're at to utilize those grounds until next Thursday, which that extends the time that they can be there because they're working out where they're going to go to next. So that's a good thing. Also, it was also announced at the evening meeting that this Saturday, there's not only a race happening at the racetrack, so that's kind of cool. People that want to come and visit the Convoy can come and see a race, or, vice versa. People going to see the race can go say hi to the people at the Convoy. I think it's a win-win. Also, in addition, which is extremely, extremely good news, they have a speaker coming, and that speaker's name is none other than Robert Malone. He is going to be there speaking Saturday, and there's going to be others that are coming with him speaking. I can't remember. There was a lady I know, then there was another doctor, and I don't know if there was others they mentioned or not. But anyway, that's the gist of it, so that's all good news. Because anytime you have very prominent people like that coming and speaking to the People's Convoy, it's going to garner media attention. It's going to garner people to talk, and that's a good thing. So anyway, that's going on. Now, let me have a sip of coffee, and I'll get into the thing that everybody's going crazy over involving today, and one of the people that is a volunteer for the Convoy, and one of the live streamers. So, one second. So what happened, and I get it, the media that I'm talking about, the channel is First Responders Media, and he does a good job, no doubt about it, does a good job. What had happened, and he was smart enough to catch on to something, and I know I'm not naive, I get it. There are a certain group of trucks, and I know of like 3 days consecutive, possibly 4. I know of 3, maybe 4. They got those trucks literally into downtown DC, right? But that's no easy task, and they have to sneak them in there. The first day they got like 4 in there. I think I think they got 13 in there one day, and I know they got 8 in there another day. Seems like 3 days for sure. And if I'm mistaken on one of those days, my apologies. But nonetheless, that's what they've been doing. Well, along with just, their act of civil disobedience, if you will, they are also, I don't know how many times they've done this, but they've carried very important cargo. That in the form of flags for fallen soldiers, and I do believe the ashes of the soldiers themselves. And so they call them ambassador missions. And so that is what this group of truckers are doing. Now, in my opinion, I view these guys essentially like the special forces of the People's Convoy, if you will, right? Because it's fitting. And so that's what their mission is, to do whatever they need to do to trick up Metro DC and police and get into DC. And they don't do anything bad. They don't do anything wrong. They just drive around, honk their horns. They make a stop here or there and do like a photo shoot. Not a big deal. Big Rig Shots is, if you've heard of them, they are actually riding with this small convoy of trucks. So, anyway, today was another day they were going out to Convoy. And now, I never did see any video of them making it into DC today. I don't know, but I do know a picture was posted today that I thought was very, very cool. And it was a picture of them dropping off some of the donations to a church to distribute out, to the needy. So that was cool. But I don't know if they actually took the trucks into D.C. today or not, or what the deal is there. However, and I know I'm taking a long time to get up to this, Joe with First Responders Media had picked up on this. He's not a dummy. He had picked up on, which trucks were in this group of trucks, because it's typically the same trucks. And he just kept an eye on the lot. And he saw the other convoys roll out, because I think there was multiple convoys, kind of follow the leader kind of thing. If I'm not mistaken, that was what they did today. However, Joe watched for these particular trucks, and they didn't leave. So what he did was he hung back and waited. I get what he did, and I get it. So anyway, when these trucks did line up and pull out, he got in behind them. Now, I do have the clip of video of the interaction between Joe, again, First Responders Media, and X-Ray. There has been a lot of back and forth on this on the internet, in the different streams and stuff like that, people talking about it. And before I play this clip, I want to tell you what, a little bit about what happened, I don't know, a couple days ago or so. They were in D.C., and I don't know what all transpired, but there was something between this X-Ray and WYSIWYG TV, okay? I really don't know what that was all about. I don't. But from the interaction that I heard, which wasn't a lot, but this X-Ray guy was being a pretty big jackass. Okay? Now, my intake of information on this particular thing is very small. I didn't get to hear the beginning of it. I really didn't get to hear much of it at all. All I can tell you is that X-Ray kind of sounded like a dick. But at the same time, WYSIWYG is kind of a confrontational kind of person too. So I gotta be fair. I don't know. I'm not making any, opinions on that, because I don't have enough information. But I felt like I needed to include that in with what transpired today, especially when it came to my initial thoughts. So word got out fast today about how there was another interaction between First Responders Media and X-Ray, and it involved First Responders Media following the convoy. This, again, what I'm calling the Special Forces of the People's Convoy. This particular group of trucks. And so that's what the video is from. And I just want to say this, this video is First Responders Media's video. I don't own the video, the rights to the video, or anything like that. I'm just using it in fair use for commentary and news. So this is only just out of several hours long video. This is 1 minute and 37 seconds. So no copyright infringement intended. I gotta say all that stupid crap now. Anyway, here you go. Let me turn up the volume.
As soon as we get to D.C. at the coronavirus borders. And then if you live stream the whole land, they're going to know where we are, where we're going, and it'll burn the whole lot. You'll sabotage this whole ambassadorial operation to go to really smart people. And I love you. I'm not trying to disrespect you.
That's fine, bro.
The other media guys gave me their phone, and I'm going to give it to them the second we get there. And everybody on the convoy has a photo.
All right. Well, I'll do it. I'll turn off the stream. I'll follow you, but you're not taking my phone.
So, tried to do to change, policy.
Money and followers are not a thing, bro. You never come up to a reporter saying money and followers. It's the thing. I've been with you guys since day one. So please,
None of us
do
are getting super chats.
Do not disrespect me like that. I've been very disrespectful
Yeah,
with
everything's
you.
cool. He's a good guy, and we're just talking. He's a good guy.
I will go.
Follow us. Even your phone, they know to follow that phone.
On the breakaway from them guys, they're fighting for freedom, but suppressing our First Amendment rights.
No, I support you. Just, hey, we're doing something on the side. The Convoy win.
So, obviously, there was a bit of tension there between the two. And I wanted to make sure to play that because I think a whole lot more people had been talking about it than what had actually heard the interaction themselves. In my opinion, I don't think that X-Ray was being an ass in that at all. I don't get why all the hate over that. Number one, first off, right off the top, X-Ray is 100% correct. They're on these ambassadorial missions, if I said that correctly. And, that mission involves getting into D.C. Well, it's not easy to get a group of semi-trucks and a convoy into D.C. when they've got all their stuff looking for them, right? So these guys are running a pretty tight ship when it comes to running these missions, and that's understandable. He in no way told him, no, you can't go. You absolutely can't go. You can't know nothing about this. You can't know. And the only reason why I think he wanted his phone is because he had the, he may not have knew about the mission. Okay, I gotta give first responders the benefit of the doubt. He may not have knew that was supposed to be a, under the radar kind of thing. I'll give him that benefit of the doubt. I don't necessarily believe that, to be honest. I think he knew. You can't go live streaming your location. That's no different, other than than a military operation, and sending the reporters in there. And they're trying to sneak up on a base, and you got AP News live streaming to YouTube, right? They ain't gonna let that happen. Why? Duh. That's why they didn't want him live streaming. I think the only reason why he really said, give me your phone, instead of, handle it a different way, is because he was currently live streaming. He was live streaming it, where they were going. They got far enough down the road, I guarantee you, either one of those folks in one of those trucks or somebody else had contacted one of those people in those trucks and told them, hey, you've got somebody following you, live streaming you the whole way. Because they made it far enough down that road that they didn't just stop then because they seen him pull out, okay? They were far enough down the road that, I'm not saying they didn't know he pulled out, but I don't think they knew he was actually live streaming them live right at that moment. So, again, you can just kind of look at the situation for what it is, and I think there's a lot of overreaction to this, and I think that, I think it's unwarranted. I really do. X-Ray had a point. They've got a mission to do, plain and simple. And you can't absolutely destroy. It's not your First Amendment right to do that. Okay, that's not. What they're doing is not infringing on anybody's rights. It's not harming anything. It's not doing anything bad. If he would have worked with them, instead of his ego and getting fluffed up and all of that and talking about the First Amendment rights, if he would have worked with them I guarantee it would have worked out for both of their benefits. Because not only would they have let him know when and where to be, but they would also have another media outlet covering them when they stop for these photo shoots down in D.C. Right? It's not that they don't want the media. They want the media, but not following them to get into D.C. They want the media, but there's a time and a place. And that's what wasn't being respected this morning. So I wanted to clear that up because, yeah, what I heard between X-Ray and WYSIWYG the other day was pretty harsh, I must say. But I didn't hear the entire interaction. I don't know but here I did see. I seen the entire interaction myself and heard it for myself, and I can't say that X-Ray was a big jackass when he talked to him about this. I mean, I think he was I think it was completely reasonable. In fact, I will make one more note on this before I continue on. I think X-Ray was about 10 times nicer about it than what that guy in that vehicle in front of first responders was going to be. I'll tell you that much. If you pay attention to the body language, here, if you pay attention to the body language of this man, the one that gets out in the car right in front, he gets out of the car, right? And I mean, an X-Ray comes running back and tells that dude, no, I got it, right? I don't think that dude in that car in the front there, I don't think that he was going to be even remotely as kind as X-Ray was. So, just saying, I'm pretty good at picking up on stuff like that. Anyway, let me have a sip of coffee. Anything I need to mention other than that? I think I covered everything for the convoy that I know. And I don't know a whole lot on other stuff. I mean, I've been obviously paying attention and putting out news, but that gets a little crazy. Oh, wow, I lost my RT thing again. I did have it, and then, that is not cool at all. Hang on, I gotta fix that. Manage extension. Turn it on. Quit turning off. Hang on, I'm opening up a couple of pages so it runs me through their stupid DDoS protection, and then it will update the icon. Maybe not. Anyway, I don't have tabs open tonight because I figured I was going to be talking to you about the convoy stuff. So I didn't open any up. I can tell you that things still don't seem to be looking any better involving the whole situation with NATO and Russia. And I do mean NATO and Russia. Because that's what it's going to come down to. I mean, let's face it. But things aren't necessarily looking better in that realm, and at the same time, they're not. From what I'm getting, it's not necessarily worse at this point. I think that, I don't know, the next week or so, and I'm not trying to date anything, but I think the next week or so is going to be very critical to how things go forward from here. I don't know if you would say they're negotiating or not, but it's kind of like, I know that there are things being put back and forth, red lines, so to speak, being put back and forth. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know if Russia and Ukraine's going to come to an agreement or not. I just don't. I think if they were left alone, they would be much more likely to. What if they don't come to an agreement? Well, then I think Putin's gonna just take Ukraine. I think he's gonna take all of Ukraine if they can't come to any other. If they can't come to an agreement that Putin is good with. I do not buy the stuff in the U.S. media about how much resistance that Ukraine is able to put up against Russia. I'm not buying that. If that is true, Russia's got to really be screwing up. I mean, you're talking about two totally different levels of military and equipment and the whole nine yards. It's not even a comparison. Now, I understand that the U.S. and other countries are likely feeding them intelligence. I have no doubt of that. But nonetheless, you still got to have those boots on the ground, and you still got to have those fighter jets and attack choppers and all that other good stuff to be able to get the job done. I'm at a loss at how I'm supposed to believe that Ukraine has enough military prowess to hold off Russia. At the same time, I'm supposed to believe this. I've seen reports about how they've been, Lviv, that's in the, western part of Ukraine. So if they're doing such a good job of holding them off, then how come they're all throughout the country? Just a question. So I'm not necessarily buying those reports that Ukraine is doing a strong job of holding Russia off and Russia's mounting, sizable losses. I don't know. I'm not there. But I also wasn't born last night. And where's it going to lead? I don't know, because I don't know what's in Putin's mind. I was wrong about Putin when I said that he wasn't going to invade Ukraine. And so at that moment, it's like, okay, well, I'm not going to give you my opinion what I think Putin will or won't do, because I have no idea. I didn't think he was going to do what he's done so far. So, will he go into Poland? Will he go into any other country? I don't know. I have no idea. Couldn't tell you. And I think that necessarily the answer to that hadn't even necessarily been decided yet. I think a lot depends on what happens between Russia and the NATO member states between now and whenever. So, no, things, they don't look good. It would be nice if Russia and Ukraine could come to an agreement, at least on the level that would get NATO, to get, I don't know, the world's opinions to feel like NATO has no involvement or, no concern there. That would be nice. But, NATO's always going to try to stir it up. That's what their job is, contrary to what they say. It's a crazy situation, and I don't know where that's going to lead. And compounding it all is all of the financial warfare going on between the different nations. Don't even know what's going to happen in that realm. I'll tell you what, there's a lot of stuff to keep an eye on right now. From the price of oil to, the U.S. dollar itself. I don't know. I've got the same advice that I have for you all the other times I give you the advice, and that's keep getting ready. Keep getting ready. This card house is going to fall one way or another. I guarantee it. And one thing I am certain of is we're not far off from it. I don't know exactly when, and I don't know exactly how. But I do know what a shaky foundation looks like, and much of the planet is on quicksand right now. So the only thing that matters, how we can respond to it. So anyway, let me have another sip of coffee. Fun times. Oh yeah, vapes too. That's in the contract. Had a nice another warm day today. And then tomorrow we cool back off again. Damn it. Oh, not too bad though. And then towards the end of the forecast, about a week out, it looks like we're going to be warming back up. So what? Having fun yet? I am. I really like pink Starburst. Good stuff. Alright. There it is. Fancy that. Alright. All the headlines are from what I started putting out this morning. Supreme Court judge hospitalized with flu-like symptoms. Biden to visit Ukraine's neighbor. Australia to expand powers and crackdown on online disinformation. That's always a good thing to hear, isn't it? Crazy. China explains its unique role in resolving Russia-Ukraine conflict. Israeli parliament reacts to Zelensky's Holocaust comparison. India's oil demand forecast to recover. Boeing 737 crashes in China. Arab parliamentarians skip Zelensky's Knesset address. COVID threw millions of Southeast Asians into extreme poverty, says a report. I'm pretty sure it threw billions of people around the planet. If not poverty, near poverty, that's for sure. Thousands protest over soaring prices in Spain. Germany looks for alternatives to Russian gas. A Ukrainian frontline medic claims he's ordered castrations of all Russian POWs. Uh-oh. Yeah, that's probably not a smart idea. He denies it, but nonetheless. Poland wants to, I think he denied it, I can't remember. I read one article on it. Poland wants to confiscate Russian-owned property. Fire rages at Netherlands National Football Stadium. A huge Chinese city goes into lockdown over COVID-19. British PM considers surprise Kiev visit, says the media. Explosion destroys Greek dynamite factory. Software glitch disrupts major rail network. I'll get it right. EU considering Russian oil embargo, says report. EU stockpiles iodine pills and nuclear protective gear. There's a big push for it now. Again, just, when it comes to that, like I said, I've said it more than once, just take a good, honest look at your area and go from there, make sure that you live in an area where there's going to be something to tend to after the dust settles. And again, pun intended. That's not going to be the case for much of the country. So there's a lot of primary targets because there's a lot of damn missiles. And so if any type of a serious exchange happens, you got to be honest with yourself. So I'm not advising against stocking up on this type of stuff. By all means, if you've got the money, do it. But don't expect that you're gonna outlast the nuclear apocalypse, because that's not going to be enough to do it. And I'm just being honest with folks. Now, again, I'm saying if you can afford it, get it. And the reason why is because, there's more things than an all-out nuclear apocalypse. There's, dirty bombs, there's what have you. So it's good to have that stuff. But don't go spending an exorbitant amount of money on it. Because if it's something that you're going to need an exorbitant amount of that stuff, well, you're probably not going to have a whole lot to work with after the dust settles. So, just saying. Let's see. Russia explains why no ceasefire amid peace talks with Ukraine. Poland threatens to punish companies that stay in Russia. Nobel Prize chiefs won't make exception for Zelensky. Russian market surges as limited trading restarts. Moscow warns of $500 a barrel oil. Could you imagine? A journalist killed in mass shooting she was meant to report on. Yeah, that was kind of crazy. So this mass shooting was going on, and I guess, I don't know if it's the editor, her boss, was trying to contact her to let her know to go cover this story. And it just so happened that, unfortunately, the journalist that he was trying to contact to tell to cover the story was actually one of the victims. So that's kind of crazy. Ukrainian doctor comments on his castration of POWs interview. Serbia urges EU state not to block Russian gas transit. CDC says it overcounted COVID-19 deaths, and I covered essentially the same information the other day. Well, some of the same information. There wasn't a whole lot different, I don't think, between the two articles, really. Russia bans Facebook and Instagram. Russia considers banning uranium exports to the United States. Makes you wonder, don't it? I mean, think about that. We're supposedly at odds with Russia. But yet, at this very moment, as I'm speaking, they're exporting uranium to us. I can't put my finger on what's wrong with that picture, but something there seems amiss. German truckers protest rising fuel prices. German production costs smash 70-year high. Georgians polled on support for anti-Moscow sanctions. Russia should consider legalizing crypto mining, says Deputy PM. Saudi Arabia won't bear responsibility for high oil prices. Well, neither will I. Warehouse workers steal over $35,000 of graphics cards. Yeah, for computers, and I guess they were trying to go around to their local pawn shop selling them and stuff. Yikes. Hey man, I got a good deal on a RTX 3070, man. Come on, man. Show me the money, I got the good. RTX 3070 is one of the high-end cards that was likely stoled. Or stole, not stoled. Surprised I didn't get something thrown at me from my right. UK prepares to temporarily nationalize Gazprom retail unit, says report. I'm killing the English nerd in her. Australia eyes up U.S.-style Space Force. Moscow explains missile strike on Kiev Mall. Calls for violence against Russians hurt Ukraine's image, says a Zelensky aide. Damn, can't get that out. UK points finger at Moscow over hoax calls. U.S. Russia. So what? So UK is now blaming Moscow for hoax calls. Okay. U.S. Russia ties on the brink, says Moscow. Pretty much sure that we knew that. But thanks, Moscow. Italy's industry could grind to a halt. Oops. EU approves common defense plan. Russia scraps peace treaty talks with Japan. That's not good. Ukraine says any deal with Russia would be put to a referendum. No soft landing likely for U.S. economy, says the Fed chairman. UK government approach to Ukrainian refugees branded as deeply shameful. U.S. says it wants to keep diplomacy open with Russia. U.S. imposes visa restrictions against China. And White House revealed why Biden will not visit Ukraine. Let me check my phone. See if there's any other one. Nope. There we go. Oops. Gotta get the right program. Anyway, I think that pretty well wraps it up. I don't know of anything else to add. Just keep an eye on things as usual. I encourage you to do the same. There's a lot going on. A lot of stuff going on. Continue to get ready. Don't stop doing that. But anyway, I am going to get out of here. God willing, we'll be back tomorrow and do it again. Hope to see you then. As always, God bless you. We love you. Be one with your spirit. And shalom.